Put some bros in the house.
That's right. Peace out, my brother.
Woo! I'm rolling with the F to the D.
Learn something new every day when you're rolling with FD.
We are rolling with FD, baby.
I roll with one person, and that's FD.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
You gotta love it, man. Hey, Renee, who you rolling with?
Rolling with FD.
Hey, Matt.
Rolling with FD. You don't have to ask. I'm rolling with FD.
My man, C. Bless. Who you rolling with?
I'm rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
That's how you just rolling, right? That's the whole thing, right? You roll with it.
I'm rolling with FD.
Manny and Jeremy, who you rolling with?
We're rolling with FD. We don't want to get our asses kicked.
My man, Dan, Duck Hard, man. I appreciate you, dog.
You gotta let the people know who you rolling with.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
Chasing Cardboard is rolling with FD.
Rolling with FD.
What's up, everybody? November 5th. For many people in America, this is election night. A lot of traffic was going on when I was on my way home. A lot of people moving around. Tonight, we have a great guest here, Big John and I. We have Prism Things coming through to let us know his thoughts on many things in the hobby and beyond. What's up, gentlemen?
How we doing?
What's
How's
going
everything?
down?
Nothing much, man. Enjoying ourselves. All about the holidays coming up. So it's a great time of the year. Loving it.
I see you got greatness on your hoodie there.
Oh, you know it. You know it. That's right. MJ, Penny. Penny was the heir apparent at that point, but
yeah,
injuries, man. You know how that goes.
Very cool. Big John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
It's good to have y'all here tonight.
Yeah, totally.
Prism Things. What do you want to jump into? Because I got a few questions, but I want to see what you want to talk about.
Anything. We could go football. We can go NFL. We can talk about the hobby.
Let's talk about Golden State Warriors.
6-1.
Looking pretty darn good.
The season is early, man. We need a larger sample size.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to be struggling with that play in. I don't think they're going to get above an 8 seed.
Do you think injuries going to hold them back, or what's going to hold them back?
I think Draymond is going to hold them back.
Draymond's been composing. He's been composing himself quite well, though.
I don't think so. I think he's had his time. Buddy Hield is doing a lot off the bench. Been watching him. He's a good replacement. So, if he can keep that up, he's scoring at a better clip than Clay was last year. So, I think Buddy Hield may be a good piece, a good fill-in, and we'll see how it goes when they get past like All-Star break and they get into that stretch right there.
Okay.
We'll see where they stand. Hopefully Steph holds up and he stays healthy, because without him it's a no-go. Mm-hmm. So I think at best though they might be a 8 seed at best to get in there.
Wow, 8 seed.
I don't think they want the likes of and if they're an 8 seed, I don't think they want to see the likes of OKC as a 1 seed as their first opponent in the playoffs. They don't want to deal with OKC.
So do you believe in OKC? Do you believe in Shaq?
They're taking the necessary steps to get to the championship level. Okay. Even though Luka and the Dallas Mavericks beat them last year. So Don't forget about the Mavericks.
I won't forget about them, but do you see the Mavericks winning the championship this year? That's not going to happen.
That's the first. Well, okay. Well, that's yet to be seen.
Do you see that with the addition of Clay that's enough to take them over the top? Get that thing done?
I think it makes them better. I think they got experience under their belt. But Boston is a juggernaut. They're great defensively, but I think Luka and his squad and the pieces that they have, Jason Kidd is a great coach. He's intelligent.
Okay.
I think they could take another step in the right direction.
That'd be interesting.
What do you think about Cleveland's 8-0 start? Now that's surprising.
Cleveland looks good too, but Cleveland doesn't. Cleveland like They play well during the regular season, but when they get into the playoff, it's like a different animal. Cleveland got to show me something in terms of winning some playoff games and winning a playoff series. That's the key thing. So they're looking good right now. Come playoff time, we got to see what Cleveland has. They look good, but you know when playoff time comes, that's where legacies are built.
Who have they played?
They just played Milwaukee, and you know Milwaukee's 1-6.
Milwaukee's really a rebuilding team.
Milwaukee?
Yeah, I think they're rebuilding. Dame doesn't play good defense.
No, he does not.
No, he's going to expose you on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And, most teams are going to start taking advantage of that and make him play defense. So
okay.
It's going to be a struggle for Giannis. And Giannis is going to want to get out of town.
Okay.
Let's see who has these guys played. Hold on here.
Isn't the in-season tournament getting ready to start?
Yeah, I think so. Early November. What date is that exactly?
Oh, let me see. Yeah. Hold on here. When does the in-season tournament start?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it tagged here. Big John, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we gotta check that out. I think it's early November. If we go back up, let's see, is it the 9th? Salute to.
Yeah, this is like just that campaign. Let me look at something else here.
November 12th.
November 12th?
Yeah, so next Tuesday, next week it starts.
Interesting. And it's called the Championships Cup now?
Emirates NBA Cup.
NBA Cup.
Okay.
NBA
Yeah.
Tuesday, November 12th.
Should be interesting. Maybe the Lakers might repeat and get another in-season tournament title. Yes. JJ has them playing better. I gotta give him that. JJ has the offense running through AD. It's looking a lot better. The offense looks crisp. LeBron, it's not controlled by LeBron anymore, and they're looking pretty solid. But again, it all depends on where they stand when playoff time comes around. So we'll see what happens.
So if Giannis leaves Milwaukee
mm-hmm.
and Embiid leaves Philly,
okay,
where do they go?
I think Giannis may go to Dallas,
mm-hmm.
and that could give Luka the hardware that he needs.
I love that.
I'm sure Golden State would like Giannis to go there, but I don't think he fits into their system.
I think somebody's going to go to the site. Why would you not?
I don't think Giannis's game fits in with the whole Golden State system, though.
Oh, you can make it fit in real quick.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know.
He's a physical guy. He can run the court. He's good with pick and roll. I think he could definitely fit in. I think he fits in better than Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Joel doesn't fit in either. Joel needs the ball. Players that need the ball, gotta have the ball. Doesn't fit in well with the Golden State system.
No,
got to be able to catch and shoot and move.
mm-hmm.
Without the ball, and that's not Joel's strong suit. Giannis, I don't know. I'll have to see it to believe it. Maybe he can fit in with Luka and they can work something out, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that.
Luka needs the ball, and he's going to hold the ball a lot longer than anybody. That's the one problem with Dallas. So I don't see that being a good fit.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. They need the ball, and they hold the ball to 5 seconds down in the shot clock. If Giannis ain't on the fast break, it's slow moving.
Uh-huh. I think with Luka too, though, you got to look at his assists also, because that's a measurable of how he's getting his teammates into the right positions, and he's getting them open shots.
Mhm.
So he statistically averaging 9 assists a game. I feel like, hey, Luka does fill up the stat sheet to that regard, and that's the metric you can look at it for him at all times, finding his teammates for open shots. Now, if he's averaging 35 with 1-2 assists a game, and everybody else is under 10 points per game, then we got a problem. He's holding the ball and he's just ball hogging and chucking up shots. But statistically, looking at PPG, looking at rebounds, looking at assists per game, you got to look at he's like what? Career wise, 28, 8 and 8, or somewhere around there, and he hangs around there. It's better than LeBron career wise, career statistics. The guy's there. I just think defensively, yeah, he needs to improve. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's a little suspect. Yeah.
And his conditioning, but for somebody that has that challenge to be able to take a team out of the West and in the finals, you got to give him some kind of credit.
He gets credit, but he already has 3 techs this year in 6 games. So
3 techs this year, okay.
Cost him last year in the finals. So
I'd say this, Big John. Yes, he has a problem with talking to the refs all the time and complaining all the time.
Mhm.
So I think he needs to, in that aspect, complaining with the refs and his defense. Those are things that he needs to improve on. So I think without a doubt, if he can get that maturity level, improved and stop complaining so much and just execute, he should be fine. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens overall.
You know what I always find funny is that when it's time for international play, when we got the World Basketball Championships or we got the Olympics, you can't find Luka. That's always cracks me up. This dude will find a way to get his ass off the court.
Oh man, FD, that sounds kind of personal. That sounds kind of personal.
I'm just saying, he was arguing again with the ref, and the ref sent him to the show.
Big John, you listening to this?
I hear it all the time. This is the same time I heard that.
Very interesting.
No, I just I think
he's becoming seriously. He's becoming a regular season dominating player that gets to the playoffs and then gets exposed.
No, I disagree with that. Because you look at it, he's won the Western Conference Finals twice out of the 2018 class, right? He's won the Western Conference Finals twice, and he's just gotten to the NBA Finals. Who in 2018 has done that? Trae Young has gotten kind of close, but where's Shea? Shea hasn't.
Hold on, let's say this: he went to the Western Conference Finals twice. He won it once.
Right.
Went to the finals, got beat. The other time he went to the West Conference Finals, Golden State put him out.
Okay, well, fine. But I'm saying though, FD, look at his playoff wins. He's got more playoff wins than anyone in the 2018 class, including Shea.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
that
Shea?
class wasn't a great class.
Yeah, it wasn't a great class.
2018, it was.
No,
2018 is a great class, man.
So you got Luka, Shea, Trae Young. Who else?
Trae Young.
You can't name
Michael Porter Jr.
Oh,
Michael Porter Jr. got his
complimentary player.
Complimentary player. Okay. I think he's an all-star talent he's like a third option on his team.
Yeah, his back. He had back issues. Since his back has got
issues.
Much better player.
Yeah. So 2018 had some gems. What's his name? Michael Bridges comes out of that.
Yeah.
Who's else? What's his name? Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
Out of Charlotte. He's there. So, there's some talents that are on bad teams and bad systems. Yeah. So
what was your question, Big John? What did you say about Bridges?
Wasn't Brunson in that class?
Yes. Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson too. Right, Big John. Yeah, Brunson is right there. So I think 2018 has a lot of good gems.
Yeah. We'll see.
You know,
we'll
I'm
see.
looking at and a lot of 2018 is still in the league. Colin Sexton, Mikael Bridges, Shea, Porter Jr.,
Right.
Troy Brown, Lonnie Walker. It's not in the league anymore. Grayson Allen, Aaron Holiday, Robert Williams. So there's one of the rare draft classes where people are still in the league 6 years later. More than half of that first round.
Right.
So
there's a lot of talent still
What do you-
there.
what are your thoughts on this year's draft class? Anybody stand out? Or they all gonna be in the G League? Any of them good?
But wow, that's
Pretty
a good
bad.
question.
Pretty bad, actually.
It's pretty bad. It's I don't know. I can't say much about it. I know point guard out of Houston, Shepard, he was looking really good in summer league, but he hasn't shown up on Houston this season. So we'll see how that goes. You got to give him a 3-year window and see who shows up when and what they turn into. So this class doesn't look promising at all. I can't really say there's anyone making any noise from these rookies right now.
This is why I don't get the complaint about Bronny, because there's the top draft picks are terrible. So how are you really mad about the 55 pick?
You know,
Yeah, but
Big John,
the crazy
go ahead.
thing, Big John, he shouldn't even been the 55 pick. So so he should have been like the 80th pick.
No,
So
I just think
that's why people rise up, because who is this dude really?
yeah, he's keeping promising players that could be filling that role out of the league. You know, and it's not fair in a sense to be averaging 3.5 to 4 points per game. I understand he has some defensive capabilities, but you got to show me something. He needs to be in the G League if they're going to be doing this with Bronny. I just don't think he's ready for this stage yet.
I mean, he's going to the G League.
Oh, he's gonna be in the G League. Very
You know,
soon.
you got other players like Imani Bates. He's in Cleveland, and they have him in the G League, and he's shown so much promise. You know, he's a good scorer. You know, but I haven't seen this from Bronny. And if we were to use him for like a 3-year period and see how he develops, I don't feel too good about his chances and what he turns into.
At the end of the day, go ahead, Big John. Go ahead.
I think NBA has a talent development problem in general because even the G League isn't doing what they set out to do. You're still not developing players to come and play in the NBA 2-3 years down the line. You know, you have the successes like Jordan Poole, but that's far in between, 1%. Scoot went down, he was already a high draft pick. He wasn't going to stay down there a long time, but they're not developing talent whereas, here's a bench. I have my 15 and I've got this rookie that's going to sit down there for 2 years and I can bring him up year 3 and he's going to be able to, contribute to the teams. It's just it seems like there's this place to put people and hold money right now because we have to draft somebody.
Yeah, true indeed.
Can't argue that. True.
At all. So
the majority of these guys are going to go down there.
The Bulls already sent their rookie down there. He didn't even see the court this year, I don't believe.
Yeah, and it's good in a sense where they send him down to the G League and help him to develop and everything. Because I could understand. I know they sit on the bench and they watch games, but they need to be playing and working out their games and strengthening their games. And Bronny needs that. To have him just as a showpiece going from city to city, trying to say that he's checking into games with his dad. They're doing him a disservice in terms of his development. I just think they need to send him to the G League and let him get his feet wet. So
I think at the end of the day, if your parent, mom or dad, can't open doors for you, then that's what happens. And I think that's what this is.
Right.
And I think I've talked to Big John before about this. I think it's deeper than what most people in the media are going to talk about.
Mhm.
Bronny, as we know, had a serious heart condition a short period of time ago.
Yeah.
I believe that LeBron wants him to play basketball. I think he wants to play basketball in a environment where there are dedicated doctors to him and can make sure that he's okay at all points of time. And LeBron has control over how many minutes a night he's going to play. I don't care if he's in the G League or in the NBA. And there's a ecosystem around him to make sure that he's going to be okay. And I think that's what LeBron wants. I think that's what I would want for my kid. So
Okay.
if I can bring him up and drive him at 55th and get him a $7 million contract, that's all bonus on top of his health care. So, and I think they have said to me, I've looked at interviews over and over again. They've kind of said certain things about LeBron has talked about how he doesn't want to miss time with his children anymore and how this is very special being with Bronny. And Bronny has talked about how he appreciates what has been given to him as far as this opportunity. Both of those statements are not things you talk about when you're just talking about basketball. It's like it's more than that. So on that end, I applaud a dad having a son with a potential medical issue close to him to understand and monitor the situation. I'm all down for that. But if we're talking just straight up basketball, I think we all know who Bronny is and what he's not and what he's probably not ever going to be. At best, I see him as a spot-up shooter in the corner, what Lonzo Ball was growing into. That's what I see Bronny doing, playing defense. If he can't do either one of those, he's really not an NBA player.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just more so for LeBron to play with his son.
Yeah.
And they had the sentimental part of it,
Yep.
fine. But at the same time, you got a responsibility for the fan base to see a good product because people are paying money to see these games. So all in all, I hope he turns into something solid, but not at the expense of like the games we're watching right now. I think he needs to just probably be in the G League.
You think AD can carry that load, 82 games, with the offense flowing through him?
We always know AD has those health. Not he can't stay healthy. That's his problem. I think he could do it, but again, you never know. Keep your fingers crossed. But I think he's a real elite talent, and he could fill up the stat sheet and carry him. We'll have to wait and see. But historically, it doesn't look well in terms of his health and how he's been trending historically. But he looks great right now, and I think if he keeps that up and he has the support system with the other players, there's some great things he can definitely do. Austin Reeves also, and Rui starting. If they take another step, also, that'll be great. And then of course LeBron is always there for a good 27-7. So yeah, I think he could do it. But again, we want to caution AD's health, man. But they're looking good. And then again, we just want to fast forward to late March, early April, and see what's going on then. After All-Star break, after they go down that stretch, we want to see and revisit that, see how things are going.
True. So let's talk. Go ahead, Big John. Go ahead.
I think if AD stays healthy, he runs away with MVP. The way they're playing, if he stays healthy,
the way he's playing.
They talk about the plan. The plan is for him to try to win MVP.
He looks statistically, he looks great because I play fantasy basketball. I'm in a fantasy basketball league, and he's one of my players, and I'm like, wow. Statistically, he's killing it. Anywhere from 50 to 70 points, fantasy points a game, he's doing right now. The past 7 games, so he looks great. He looks great.
I thought he played very well during the Olympics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sure did. He sure showed up.
I got a question for you. I know earlier you were talking about the shows in the Bay Area.
Okay.
What shows have you visited, and what are you seeing?
There's a lot of little shows that I've went to, but I've gone to one at Westgate Center and on the local side. It's a smaller show, and it's a lot of shows. It's up to number one going on. You know, Fairfield, San Jose, San Francisco card show. But I'm thinking like there's less on the Westgate side. There was less vendors, and from what I've seen so far in my sample size, there's more people wanting to pay smaller price points, anywhere from like 50 to 350. You know, right in that window. If you have a big card that's 4 figures or close to 5 figures or 5 figures or more, it's going to sit, of course. But it's more like with the larger shows, you know, you have the repackers that can buy back the cards at 90%, and then you have other dealers that might be trying to sell their cards too, and it's I don't know, it's kind of it's different. Everybody's a dealer and everybody wants to buy at 80%, and then certain people want to sell for comps, but it's tough. It's tough being a flipper now, from what I'm observing.
Yeah,
yeah, and you know, as far as for me, you know, I'm looking for like long-term cards that don't show up often. Okay, so like rare cards that don't show up too often, but when they do show up, it commands a presence. And there's some of those that I try to pick up and keep it going. As far as the silvers and the base, of course they always go up and down as players get hot and whatnot. But as far as what I see at some of the shows and some of the trade nights, it's a lot of people are looking for the dollar boxes and $2 and $5 boxes. Everyone is trying to get value that they can turn around and make a little profit on.
Okay.
Yeah, I see a lot of that. As far as high end is always going to be a small percentage of individuals. And when you go to certain trade nights, you break out high end, but then certain folks come to you with multiple amounts of low end cards plus cash to try to get into your high end. You know what I'm saying? So you see that kind of dynamic sometimes. So what I like to look at is going to like the bigger card shows, like the Burbanks. I'm going to Burbank card shows. You know, there's other large card shows. The San Francisco card show is another one too, where you can get certain good items. I try to stick to the larger card shows. Sometimes I go to the smaller ones, and when I do, I'm like I just observe and see what's going on and see what people are buying.
Yeah,
and go from there.
What athletes are you looking for? What's got you excited?
There's different ones. I'd like to get into an Ohtani, a good Ohtani.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I just got another Mahomes, but I'm trying to get into those players that are going to be remembered 10 years or more from now. 10 years from now, they're going to be remembered in terms of the impact they've had. So Ohtani, I'm trying to get into some more Mahomes. I'm watching them. I watched them the other night, and you know they're 8-0. I mean, the guy has no weapons. He has a QBR right now of about 69.4 in terms of his rating. Okay, and they're 8-0. You take away his weapons, he still finds ways to win. Mm-hmm. You bring Lamar Jackson might come and play with him in the first game of the season, and he still finds a way to win. You know, it's like, wow, unbelievable. So again, I'm looking at like, you know, Mahomes. I'm trying to get into some Jordan inserts. There's like some that I like from 95, 96, like the 70. I think that's the 72 and 10 season. Trying to get into some of those inserts for Jordan. There are some prospects that I like. I know you don't like him, FD, but I like Ant-Man. Tell me why you don't like Ant-Man. That's the question.
He hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
He hasn't done one thing. Was he a one-time All-Star? Two-time All-Star?
I'm also okay. He's 20. He's 22 years old.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he's going.
But
All right.
his jaws don't act 22 though. Let's talk. Yeah. So he hasn't really done anything. I just like for people to do something.
Right.
And then if you choose to start talking, then
Okay.
talk.
Let me ask you this: Shea hasn't done anything.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot.
Why do you like Shea so much then?
Because Shea is a reserved guy who goes and gets it. You don't really hear him talking at all. Doesn't say anything. That's a personality type more like a Steph Curry. You don't hear him saying anything really.
Right.
Steph, when he's asked a question, it's almost like he morphs into a politician. You don't hear him say a word, but he will go out and destroy you.
Big John, what are your thoughts on Ant-Man?
I like Ant-Man because as an overly confident person, I love overconfidence, right? You know, that unrealistic confidence, it can carry you places. I also like Shea. I think, you know, personality-wise, they're different, but skill-wise, you know, both of them can ball. But I think Shea is a more complete guard at this stage of his career than what Ant-Man is yet. Shea can run a team, and with that trade of Cat, now Ant-Man has to run the team, get people in position, make others better, get the best out of others. And I think that OKC is set up that way, right? We talked earlier how, you know, people need to go with the G League. Shea set out with injury his first year and was around the team and was at all the practices for the most part and came back last year, you know, balling. You got Jay Will, you got with Alex Caruso now for some defense on the perimeter. He can run that team. He knows how to get his shot, get people help, get other people their shot, and so they can make a run. I think Ant-Man is still, I got to do it. I have to do it. Now he what I like to say, he breathes confidence in his teammates. You know, you've never heard him say anything bad about his teammates. He's hyping them up, and he's breathing confidence in them. The Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert's, but he doesn't make them better on the court.
And also with Cat leaving, I hope he realizes that he has more on his shoulders.
Okay.
But he can come out every night and score 30 to 32 a night. Minnesota's not winning that game.
Okay. I think Julius Randle can give him some assistance that he needs, but you know, he's not Cat, but he's definitely if Julius can fill up the stat sheet, which he has on a few games here where he's warmed up to the system and everything. So
I think he's going to be a defensive liability come playoff time.
Was Cat a defensive stopper? No, he wasn't.
No, but I would rather have him playing defense behind me if I'm a guard than Julius Randle.
Okay.
I think Julius Randle won't be consistent enough to be helped. Cat was consistent. Right? His 25 a night was consistent. You know, he shot a good from three. His defense was poor, but again, that length. That's one thing they had in that paint. He had length in the paint. So that's why everybody started pulling Rudy Gobert out into every pick and roll action to get away from that length in the paint.
Yep.
You don't have that length anymore with Randle. You have the energy from Naz Reid coming out six man still, so you have that energy, but I think they're going to have a tougher time this year because the West is packed.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. I'm not even going to front on that. It's going to be challenging to see how that all plays out. I was surprised that they went ahead and they traded Cat, but we'll see how things go.
I think that was a financial move too. I mean, they talked about doing the finals, how much all these guys are making. I think when you pay Rudy and then you double down and paid Ant-Man, somebody had to go. And it wasn't going to be those two. So Cat had to go.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same thing in Boston in probably middle of next year. They can't pay all three of them.
Because White's going to get paid.
Porzingis got paid. So, you know who haven't heard from since that trade last year? Marcus Smart. Haven't seen anything or heard anything from Smart.
He was hurt. He was hurt most of the year. I think Marcus Smart I think he went on his program of how do I get out of Memphis. So I'm hurt.
I think Scottie Pippen Jr. has been taking some of his playing time while he's been injured and everything, and he's filling up the stat sheet. He's playing well, but Marcus, he's been hurt a lot. So
he'll miraculously be playing frequently as soon as he gets another jersey on his body. You'll be like, man, I thought that dude was hurt. Well, let's think about it. This is the same thing Iguodala did when he went to Memphis. He was hurt. Then he went back to Golden State and balled.
Yeah,
this is what you got to do, man. Sometimes you got to get out of a situation. You know,
so gentlemen,
years. Memphis needs a new
gentlemen,
coach.
let me ask you both of you this: who's going to come out of the West? Who do you think?
OKC.
OKC is a strong team.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers are the team that misses the playoffs this year. They're the odd team out of the 10. Dark horse is Pelicans. Like, you know, we want to make a wild gamble on a parlay. Pelicans, maybe.
Okay. So you don't think I think it'll be the Mavericks and OKC in the Western Conference Finals. And I think probably based on experience, Mavericks will knock them out again.
Oh wow. You big Dallas fan.
I'm just saying, you know, it's time for Luka to take those steps.
It may be time for him to.
I think he will.
Okay, it may be time for him to. I just don't know if that's. I'm still under the way of thinking that I don't see Luka ever win a championship.
Okay.
I just don't see
Fair
it.
enough. Fair
By
enough.
the way he plays basketball, I mean, you can't get him more help. His Kyrie has come over. Gafford and gang came over. Klay Thompson's over there. You can't get this guy more help. Still not getting that.
You know, but you know what thing isn't fair also? Kyrie didn't show up in the finals at all. At all. Look at the statistics.
So there was some games that
he didn't show up in the finals at all.
But there was some games.
Luka was there, and Luka put in his statistics. When he needed the help the most, Kyrie was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think anybody was beating Boston last year. That was a bad matchup for 85% of the NBA. Like, they got tall guards. Horford is just a stout on defense, and like just too smart. And then when Porzingis is healthy, they could just score in multiple ways. I think that was probably, Denver was probably the only team that would match up the same with them, being able to talent-wise, if they made it to the finals.
But we know this year Denver's not the same team.
No, they're not.
Denver's not going anywhere.
You know, they gave up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, one of their defensive weapons, and they gave up a lot of people.
The year before they gave up Brown.
Yeah. Right, Brown. Right, exactly. So
now I just read that Aaron Gordon has a calf strain. He's out for weeks.
Exactly.
That team's deteriorating.
Yeah. Jamal Murray also. Jamal Murray isn't looking like himself. So even though he argues otherwise and everything, but
I think he's in Klay Thompson mode. Tearing up your knee like that, you still have some residual stuff you got to get through. Being able to play back-to-backs and get that thing done, it's not going to be easy for him. So I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
It's 40 minutes in, and we have not talked about KD for real in Phoenix. They have a real chance. And that's surprising. Like, that's the kind of season we all think about, Phoenix Suns' chances to win the championship this year.
No.
Not going to happen. As long as Bradley Beal is on that team as a part of that three, it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think so. They got swept by Ant-Man and the and his crew. So I don't think so. Defensively, I don't think they can stop anybody. And I think they're talented offensively, but they're stuck. their management is stuck with those with these three guys, Booker, Beal, and KD. And when the playoffs come around, I think they're going to struggle when they run into like they can't. I think even Minnesota, if they run into an OKC, that's not going to happen. You know, so
Bradley Beal right now is averaging 17.2 points a game, which is the lowest in his career. I mean, since his fourth season, since the second season. I mean, I understand he's with other players that are also taking shots, but he's shooting 37% from the three. Would you pay that man $200 million? Come on,
know,
that dude is just he's backing up the Brinks truck and robbing people right now.
No, I think what Bradley Beal is suffering from is that he was the number one option in Washington, and he filled up the stat sheet, averaging 30 points over a little bit over 30 points a game. So he has that capability, but he has to fall into the tiers of scoring for Phoenix, because now he becomes either a second or third option. I think a third option because Booker and KD are going to get theirs, and then Bradley has to take what's left. You know, so he's not going to. It's Booker's team, and he's going to have to be a shell of what he once was in terms of his contribution.
But just think about when you play trash ball. I always say it's like when a tree falls in the forest. Does anybody hear it? Right? In 2018, he averaged 25, 26 points a game. He played 82 games. Look how many games he's played since 2018: 57, 60, 40, 50, 53, and in a season where he averaged 31 points a game, he shot 35% from the three. That's just like trash ball. That just means that you're scoring points because there's an absence of any other talent on the court. So you're just shooting the ball the majority of the time. But the quality shots you're putting up, they're not quality. It's like when Kevin Love was back with the Timberwolves. Like, okay, you're scoring points, bro, but you're not. There's nothing happening here. So that's why you have these guys in the league that score all these points.
Right.
Last year I looked, there were like 25 guys in the league, almost 30 scoring over 20 points a game. It wasn't like that when we grew up.
Well,
that's why you scoring 20 points a game. There's never going to be an all-star.
It's a different era, and scoring fills the arenas. You know, you got to.
Just think about this though. Arenas are being filled, right? But viewership on TV is at the ultimate low right now. So that means you're not fooling people. People know this is BS ball. Everybody's scoring. I'll just watch when I get to the playoffs because then people play defense. We all hear that. Because Carmelo, just look at LaMelo Ball for him. He's my barometer on BS ball or real ball, right?
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh, it's not really. Right now, he's throwing. What is he scoring a game? He's scoring like 28 points a game.
28 points a game, yeah.
What is he getting done? He's not doing anything. And he's going to continue to do nothing with Charlotte. And wherever else he goes, he's going to have to modify his game. These threes that we're putting up at the logo, if they go in or not, doesn't really matter. Looks good on ESPN. And so we have a lot of guys in the league that play that ESPN ball. But when you get on a real team like Golden State, you can't do any of that. That's not happening. And this is what the NBA is today. It's really, I'm going to do stuff for some highlights. Like Ja. Ja is shooting 20% from the three right now.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, he does a spin move in the paint. Everybody's talking about it. But if we get you to the playoffs, Ja, we know how to defend you. Because you're not doing any of that in the playoffs. But it looks good right now in game 8 in the season. This is the kind of ball that's being played.
Understood. Also, you got to remember too, there are other players that are doing close to 40% or a little over 40%, and they're still not winning from shooting from the three. Steph has been close to 40% the past 3 seasons. Where's Steph? Struggling to get into the 8th seed on the play-in. So
he could be, but he's still an all-star, still representing himself well, and waiting for the team to get there. A player like Ja and a player like Zion has no jump shot. He's been in the league now, 8 years? He has zero. He does not shoot a jump shot. So you're not going anywhere with that. Only thing you're going to do is pull a hamstring like you did last year in the playoffs, or worse. There's never been a player that has been elite, that's been an NBA, that doesn't have a jump shot. But we think Zion is going to be the first player. Ja doesn't shoot much better than Allen Iverson. But we still think Ja is impressive. Well, he's not.
You know, I hear you on that, but not everybody. There's a lot of teams that try to imitate and do what the Warriors did with Clay and Curry when they were in their prime, and they were special players. Okay, and there's not a lot of teams that have those types of players that were be able to fill up the stat sheet from the 3-point aspect and play the type of ball the Warriors did. Okay, so you got to play a different type of game, and not every player is a 3-point shooter, and that's kind of what's throwing things off right now. So I think we're forgetting the aspects of the game where we got the mid range, we got the pick and roll, we got certain things. All we're doing is 3 and D, and everybody's looking the same and copying the same things, and it's not working to that regard. So you got to play. Players got to play to their strengths. Okay, having a jump shot in this era, yes, is definitely required to be able to shoot and whatnot. But the other aspects of the game is kind of like being just ignored to some degree.
Everybody's trying to follow greatness, man. Yeah. It's only a certain player that can get down like that, man.
I mean, I think the NBA is a culture that's threes more than 2. But they're forgetting the fact that if you miss 60% of your threes, when you could have hit 50% of your 2s, you would still be winning.
Exactly. You could still be winning. Right. That's a good point, Big John. Exactly. So I watch DeRozan and I watch other players, and I respect their craft in terms of what they're able to do with the mid range. Kawhi was like that too. When he stayed healthy, he won his titles based off of that. Kawhi wasn't a 3-point shooter, but he got his hardware to prove that playing your own game within your strengths is evident of being able to get a championship. Also, if you stick to your guns, not trying to be like Steph, Steph is in his own lane, and a lot of players, got to find a way to win based on their own strengths.
So what would we say is Ja Morant's strength?
Attacking the rim.
What's that?
Attacking the rim.
Small guards attack the rim, don't play long. There's been no guard in history. I always go back to what I've seen before. There's no small guard that attacks the rim that plays a long time.
Isaiah Thomas.
He didn't attack the rim like Ja. No, sir.
Yeah, you need to check that again.
No, didn't attack the rim like Ja.
You can't say anything good about Isaiah Thomas to FD.
No.
Exactly. You can't.
What about Zion? What's Zion's strength?
Huh?
What's Zion's strength?
Zion is quick around he's quick in the paint. He takes a lot of high percentage shots. I think he needs to improve on his rebounding, but I think he has a strong mid-range game, and that's evident. I think defensively too, he can do some things, but he needs to be able to shoot threes and whatnot. I'll say this though, I'd say the player that's the big man that's really good right now for today's modern game in terms of how he plays is Banchero.
Oh yeah,
Banchero is nice.
We all agreeing on that. Oh yeah,
Banchero is nice. He could give it to you inside, outside.
Yes,
he dropped that 50 the other night. 50 points, 13 rebounds. He gives it to you any way you want it.
Now compare his game. Since we got him, compare his game to Zion.
Yeah. Zion is not on his level. Zion has the athleticism. Banchero has it too, but Banchero has the touch, man. He can shoot. He could do it all. He could rebound. His mobility and his footwork, like a 6'10" guard. So
we all agree on something, man.
Yeah, totally.
My only concern with Banchero is that can he be consistent every night, because he put up 50 and then is out injured right after that. Like shoulder injury. Like is this too much for him?
Yeah.
We'll see. He really hasn't been hurt like this before, so we'll see. That's a great question.
Yeah. So
he also has to get out of Orlando if he wants to really progress his career. He can't be in a retirement community.
Yeah.
Be balling out.
Yeah, put him in Dallas. That's right, FD. That's right.
Did either of you see the ending to the Sixers game the other night when Paul George missed the final shot?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh man.
Why do we keep giving him the ball in the games?
Why do people still think he's the man? Like, why do people think he's a leader of a team like that?
He's playoff P.
Yeah. It's not happening. So you got him over there. This is a good topic. You have him over there. You got Joel Embiid pushing reporters and saying, I'm not playing back-to-backs. Where is Philadelphia going?
Yeah, that's true.
Tyrese Maxey is just trying to do everything. It's not going to happen.
You see, yeah, and Paul can't stay healthy. Someone fell into his leg early on, and he stayed out for a good while. And Joel looks like he doesn't want to. He made a statement about not playing back-to-backs, and it's a fiasco right now. So, Paul should be able to take things with Maxey right now and put him on a winning streak, but that's not happening.
No,
I don't know, but playoff P may have had his time in terms of being relevant. I don't know.
Paul George has fooled people into hundreds of millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Somebody thinks he's going to be on another level that we haven't seen since Indiana before he broke his leg.
Because there's players that could fill up the stat sheet, yes, and then there's players that could fill up the stat sheet and carry a team and win.
Yeah,
there's a difference because I love Carmelo Anthony, but Carmelo Anthony filled up the stat sheet and he didn't make anybody else better.
No.
He didn't carry a team, so that there's a difference to that. LeBron in his prime, LeBron could carry a team and fill up the stat sheet and fill up the holes where people were lacking. So there are different types of players. There are players that fill up the stat sheet and look great, but they never win and they never get to that next level. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Banchero I feel Banchero can do that. I think Orlando plays defense. I think they're competitive, so I don't know.
About that squad has always said they have a weak guard core. Like, who are the guards? What are they doing?
Yeah, they got Suggs and Suggs is he's scrappy. I don't think that's the guy they probably need for the system, but
hey, flipping the script. I know y'all have watched Cooper Flagg from Duke. What do you think of that guy?
Who?
Cooper Flagg.
I like from what I've seen, he looks like he has all the tools.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really solid.
As a mid range,
he's got the mid range. He doesn't have a weight problem.
Mm-mm.
He can shoot from outside. I was watching him play against the Olympic team.
That's right. Yeah,
he
looked nice.
He was nice. He's nice. Cooper is really, really nice. I have nothing bad to say about him.
No,
we'll see. We'll see if his game transitions to the pros. But from what I'm seeing, I can't see why not.
I think he might take the torch from Wemby for the hobby. I think there's gonna be a lot of people excited about his cards when they come out.
Yeah, probably. With Wemby, we got to look and see how things develop. This is his second year.
Yeah.
He's doing close to 20-10,
something like that
statistically. So they got to learn how to win. Hopefully, Chris Paul don't down Chris Paul. MD. I know you're going to say something.
Chris Paul will be in street clothes more than he will be in a uniform.
So, President, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Talk about Wemby, and then you collect high-end cards.
Right.
What did you think of Topps Mercury? And them dropping so many Wemby autos at one time.
Okay, with my opinion on Topps Mercury, just given the facts of what's going on, it's eight cards per box, $1,000 per card, which means $8,000 per box.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is two things. Number one, it dilutes the market for Wemby autographs. Number two, it's an unlicensed product. Panini still has the official license to the NBA. So why am I putting that amount of money into an unlicensed Wemby product? I know what was it? Topps has an official authorization for Wemby autographs, but again, it's not officially licensed right now. So people are excited about it. They want the on-card Wembys, understood, but I prefer to stay on the sidelines with that one and see how things develop. I'm not, but for the amount of that we're paying, I'm just like, man,
Do you think people are excited about this? Do you think people are excited about this unlicensed product because Fanatics has the license going forward? Like if they didn't have the license coming up next year, would people be excited about it like this?
I think so, yeah, because the Fanatics has a license going forward, but again, we haven't put out a licensed product yet. And if I'm going to invest that kind of money, I want something that's officially licensed from Wemby. And I don't value that too much right now. I mean, there's certain cards, like say for instance for me, right? I pick up sometimes. The other day I picked up I know it was unlicensed. It's a Ant-Man 1/1 autograph from Leaf. Okay, I was like, okay, I like it, fine. I picked it up, but I knew it was unlicensed, and I understand that. But I picked it up because I liked it, and I kept it here in my collection, whatever. But if I'm going to spend serious money, I gotta have, number one, I gotta have a licensed product. I gotta have if it's definitely a rookie card, something that's on card, those it checked two of the boxes, but I miss the days where you could buy decent end products at a medium price point and coming out with value. And these days, it's like you have to pay so much out, and when you get back your return, 85% of the time it's negative, because whatever 8 cards that are in that Topps Mercury, we got to be able to drag it back or bring it back to a plus margin from what you invested. So,
well, a lot of those cards have went down since we started this podcast.
Oh, okay. Nothing to doubt. And it's like every box is a Wemby. I mean, there are too many Wembys out there.
Well, I talk to Big John all the time. We talk about price, and he has a good point. We skip right over Prism Deca. We went from Prism to now we're talking about Topps Mercury. And Prism Deca is a very expensive product that people are not. You even get on eBay. You don't see too many of them posted. People are not talking about that.
Yeah, people are not.
You get to talk to me about value, right? And I collect low end. I'm a value box guy to show. Let's see what I can pull out, what I can get some value back, go into it. I'm not spending money on this stuff. But even if you go retail, you buy a $20 hobby box or something low end, you don't really have a chance to pull $20 out of the cards you don't want. And that's the problem with the manufacturing right now. I'm not saying we're in a junk wax or anything like that. It's just it doesn't make a lot of sense to not go after just singles right now.
Yeah.
If you're just not like with baseball, I'll get in the break and I'll grab the Cubs because I want all the Cubs cards. That's my PC. But I'm not going into that looking like I want to get the hit team and chase the hit so I can try to make money, because you're going to lose money that way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So with how the whole era of this section of the hobby that we're going through right now, man, it's just best to zero in on your your licensed product that meets your criteria, and invest in it as opposed to trying to buy a bunch of expensive boxes and make sure you get a hit. Some people buy into breaks. That's all fine and dandy. But sometimes for me, and everybody's pockets are different, but sometimes you want to get in on a graded item. Sometimes there's a certain graded item that I'd see that's numbered or whatever the case may be, and I know I'm not going to see it if I wait at a certain card show, and I got to get it now. There's certain cards that you got to get now, or it's going to be a long time because of the pop report that you're not going to see him again for quite a while. So sometimes you got to go in and get that card, because sometimes you may pull that card out of a box, but then you run the risk of getting the PSA 10 grade. And that's a challenge too. So sometimes, I've gotten some great cards out of boxes where they've gemmed, but otherwise there are other times where you hit a PSA 8 or PSA 9 on a great numbered card. So sometimes you just got to go and go straight and buy your graded card.
So you are a PSA 10 only guy for your PC, or is it 9 okay, 8 okay? What do you like to collect when you were looking at cards?
I like, for me, it depends on the card. Okay, so, but I like 10s because I like collecting them, and I also like having a collection has resale value. So looking at that, I like the PSA 10. If it's a PSA 9, I got some PSA 9s that are gold, that are numbered to 5, numbered to 10, and that's fine because the pop is really low.
Yeah.
So I'm for the most part 10s, but if there's 9s, it's got to be really low numbered and rare and in demand, because you could have rare cards that are not in demand. So it's got to be both of them.
I like that. I'm a Kobe White fan. I'm a Bulls fan, and that's
Okay.
why. And listen, I'll pick up a PSA 9 of him any day of the week because the value's there for me. Because I know I'm the market. Not many people is going to be there for me to resell a PSA 10 Kobe White card too. So I'll pick up a 9 for $5-6 off of Fanatics all day long, because I don't run the risk of spending extra money grading it to get a 9.
Right. Kobe White, right? Exactly. I like him. That's a good one. So what are your thoughts on that, Big John? What are your as far as PSAs, PSA BGS? What do you like what do you go for in terms of PSA BGS or SGC?
For my personal collection, I don't necessarily care what slab it's in. I personally, for my wrestling cards, I like them SGC. I like how the colors pop off of them. For basketball, PSA is fine. Baseball definitely PSA, but I have some BGSs. So I get value. Right. If it's a card I'm going to keep and it's a 9, I don't have to pay the extra money to go buy it off of eBay and then get it graded and just to get a 9 anyway. I kind of look at things like that, like, especially with the brands I'm buying. I'm buying, Hoops and Prism. Everybody's pocket is different. I don't want to waste money going after a PSA 10 on a PC item when I can just buy the card and have it graded at a good price that I'm happy with, because I know I'm not flipping it. Now, if I'm trying to flip it, because I'll buy cards to grade so I can get my PC cards, I'm just going to PSA.
Okay.
My favorite card in my collection is in the SGC. It's an SGC 10.
SGC 10.
Yeah.
Like we saw that earlier this year. We saw that Will Chamberlain that was raw, that was a SGC 10.
Yep.
That so again, the card is there's no doubt SGC 10. So they went ahead and that sold for a lot.
It sold for a lot. Bought it to a PSA 10.
Right.
What was the final price on that card?
It's like
$7 million. something like
It
that.
was, what did it go? 1.7 million?
Yeah.
1.7 million, I think it's. So my curiosity was, what if it was a PSA 10? Well, how would have that hashed out? But I don't think it would have mattered. But I don't know. But maybe
we'll soon find out. I know it's in the PSA 10 now. The person who bought it graded with PSA, integrated the PSA 10. So if it ever comes back up, we'll see the difference.
We'll see what happens. Right. See, so somebody moved it over, and yeah. So again, it's just the market, because for me with my PC, there's certain things that I want to keep, and sometimes my habit is like PSA 10 because I know how the market works and how much the resale value works. So if there's anything in my PC that I may want to go ahead and sell or trade and get into, I got a lot of purchasing power to get into something bigger. So that's how I look at it. Although there are some BGS cards that I have, but they're like really low numbered, and I had they're preserved in that. I didn't send them to get graded like that. I bought them like that, and I have the opportunity of trying to reholder it with PSA eventually. But I got what was that? A Gold Shea that's on card auto. It's like a rookie and rookie gold out of 10, but it's a BGS 10, BGS 9.5 or BGS 9, I think. But I kept it as the BGS. I was like, man, this is a big card. So sometimes certain cards are going to be valued disrespected. I mean, disregarded of, regardless of the grade, they'll still be like valuable.
And we got Jordan here that says that, like we talked about, that will sold for 1.7 million.
Yeah.
Then he has another comment. Really, do you need quote unquote license? I mean, it is important how rare and popularity of the set is. Also, timing calls 7 years ago, you could get a Tom Brady rookie for inexpensive. I kind of feel like you have people that don't sit on the fence. So either you want a license or you don't. I kind of prefer it myself. But talking about what Prism Things was just talking about, I've seen some very nice Leaf multi-signed cards by players.
Right.
Yeah, that thing looks nice. But I still haven't bought one, but I thought about it. And I wouldn't say that I wouldn't do it, but it has to be a very nice looking, different kind of card, I think, for me to really go down that road. But there are some out there.
See, that's what I like. Like, if I like the card art, I like the names on the card. Like, it's not licensed and I can afford it, I'll get it. Like, I'm not gonna worry about license. And I think with Wemby in this license situation, in 10 years, it's going to be the Star Jordan, 85 Flair conversation all over again, which is true rookie when it comes to the Prisms and the Mercury stuff. Like, you're gonna have that debate 10, 15 years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a person who holds high-end stuff, I can see you getting one for a good price and holding it just to see what happens down the line with a Mercury. But I was not excited about the product because it's way worse of a price.
Yeah,
right.
I just hope Wemby has played most of those 10 to 15 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just don't see his career going that long.
But what are y'all thoughts about them just doing a player set like that? Should like LeBron, Steph, Luka get a set like that for themselves?
I'm not a fan of
it. I don't know. It depends on, and yeah, I don't think so. Looking at this time in their career, I don't know. I think with LeBron and Steph at this point, they've already set their legacy, and for that to come out right now, I don't think it'll hold as much weight as their first year and second year and third year cards, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll have a ceiling if that with that type of product. That would be great. That would be great if it came out as a licensed product and it's a rookie year of a mega star that's coming out, But again, it all depends. You can get one of ones, but there could be 1,000 one of ones, and that really dilutes things. You know what I'm
Don't get
saying? So
started on one-on-ones.
you got who cares? You know, you got 1,000 one-of-ones, and you got to try and go track all of them. It's just like, all right.
So I got a question. Because you said earlier you're looking to get some of the 95, 96 Jordans, right? So why does those playing your cards appeal to you and not the vet cards of like the LeBrons and stuff? Now, why does that not appeal to the hobby now? We know how great LeBron is. We know how great Curry is. And we don't want to spend money on their veteran cards, but we are willing to go back and spend money on Jordan veteran cards and big money. Because some of those inserts from the 90s are big money cards. I've been doing a lot of research the last six months on Jordan cards, and you get a Bing team that's not a rookie, and you're gonna spend $20,000 in some cases.
Right.
Great.
It's because of the era, and I think there are certain inserts that out of those 90s they're hard to get, they're rare, and each era has their own cards that are valued. So when we go, like, say for instance, we're in our modern age now. Now, I guess we'll have to wait to see this, but the kabooms and the downtowns are the inserts that are loved right now and looked upon in high regard right now. So that later on down the road, they may be the PMGs. Who knows? Okay, but the gold kabooms and the different types of kabooms and downtowns are the inserts that are the color blasts, things like that. So now back in the 90s, they had those things. Steph and LeBron, when you have those kabooms and whatnot and the downtowns, they go for a premium right now. Now going back to Jordan in the 90s, those insert that they had from certain years, they're looked upon as a premium. Look at the PMGs. Those green Jordan PMGs are hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. The Duncan Go Nuts cards, those are hard to get a hold of. So that's
I'm not even looking towards that. I've seen a lot of those, but there's some others that I've seen that I like. Like there's like the Natural Born Thrillers.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some different inserts. There's hot numbers out of Flair. So there's different types that are really sought after and good inserts to go with. And I think Steph and LeBron, they're gonna have those that come out that are really gonna be great inserts for Steph or LeBron. Any color blast, any kaboom, any downtown that they may have, they may be looked at in high regard, even though they're not rookie cards. So
do you think people are excited about these Olympic cards that just came out, these top notch cards? I can't get a gauge on that.
Oh man, I think people are trying to get the one of one.
Yeah.
And that's signed auto with KD, Steph, and LeBron. There, people want to get a hold of that. I think it's a lot of base cards, and people are chasing the chase cards. Okay, not so much that they like the product.
Like that triple autograph will never show.
Yeah, that triple autograph. All the bounties they're putting out for it. So
if you two had that card, would you sell it now, or would you hold it, or would you even come out and say you have it?
If I had that card, I'm gonna sit down for a minute and not say that I had it, and just try to think through what the logical steps are that I need to take. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna make a knee-jerk reaction and put it on Golden or go to a bounty from other influencers. I'm gonna sit down and write my critical path down and decide what's the best option for me to do.
I love that.
And I'm gonna look at all angles before I make a decision, and then after that, I could live with myself, because I don't want to make a knee-jerk reaction and not think things through, and then have to worry about it later. So,
And I think whatever decision I made after that, because I'll go through that same process. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody ever know I ever had it.
exactly. Right. You
I
know,
think-
and then
If I won the lottery, I'm not going to be at the press conference.
exactly. Right. I feel you.
Until I hit you up and be like, hey, prison thing, Big John, bro, I got
I mean, me personally, a select few people would know that I could trust would know I would have had it.
Mhm.
And then it'd be a conversation with me and my wife on what to do. Like, what is our current financial situation versus what
Right.
we can hold off and make it better for the kids, for the college funds, for future things. So I think that's again, sit down and talk about it, but it wouldn't be announced to the world. That's for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't think you want that kind of press. You know. So
I don't want any of that.
no.
I'm not interested in any of it.
That's the deal.
Jordan says if they came out with set that was numbered max 100, then goes down from there. 6 unseen photos, no base, just colored, and numbered only. That would be a great sneaky set. I believe more boxes should be numbered, but that would add some pizzazz to what's going on.
Yeah, that sounds good, but then just the out of 100 becomes the base.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
To the
that'll
Olympic
work.
card, I do have I went and got the Steph Curry ones just of him, and one just got graded last night to PSA 10. So I'm glad to get that coming back to me.
Ah,
That's
nice.
something I'm not gonna- I wanted that one for me because I don't have a significant Curry card in my collection, and I feel like his first Olympics gold medal, that game, that image is a good card just for personal history to have.
Okay.
I'm gonna have in my collection for them. So
I got you. That I agree with you on that. That
You know,
sounds
anything
good.
Curry, Big John, you winning, bro. You know that.
Well, yeah, Curry.
I mean, we talking about the greatest point guard of all time, people. That's not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
this is what we talk about on a weekly basis. Curry being the best point guard.
I know.
I agree.
You know it all the time, people.
I
That's
agree.
The biggest Curry fan in the world.
Yeah, my man says nightly. Yes. Before you put your head on your pillow, let's touch back on the greatest point guard of all time. Yes. On the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think but back to like inserts. My favorite current day insert is the Panini Unleashed. I feel like that insert is so underrated, but I think it's only in baseball. I haven't seen any in basketball. But like that was when I came back to the hobby. One of the first cards, the imagery on it, the picture captured me. Like I need to collect these. I'm my favorite player. I need to get the whole set in.
Man.
Now, do you collect anything like that's not sports, like Star Wars, anything like that? Or is it all sports?
You know what, Big John? You know what I'm starting to get in a learning curve for right now is don't laugh, but is certain Pokemons that are rare.
Well, yeah, why would we laugh?
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I'm getting into that right now. There are certain key ones that are coming out of the Scarlet and Violet era that are looking good. So there's a couple that I got into that are graded that have been going up. But again, the TCG area is different than the sports area. So these characters don't get injured. So that's a good thing. So I've been getting into some of that. I like certain actors and whatnot. I've been looking at getting some actors like Robert Downey Jr.'s autograph. So that's where Leaf comes in too with their Pop Century. Leaf Pop Century for the non-sport types of things is a really good avenue to go. So So I like that. But yeah, I'm going through the Pokemon portion of it and looking at certain hobby boxes from certain eras. Because with them, as far as that, it's like you can buy certain hobby boxes for the Pokemons, and they gradually go up, man. You know, and it's proven out. You know, depending on the popularity of the era that you look at, or the set that you look at. You know.
Hey, Big John, quick question: is this the Unleashed product you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the Unleashed card right there.
Okay.
I really like the little animal prints on them, and they do them different every year. Like, so
Looks cool, man.
I've only seen that in baseball. I haven't seen them in basketball or football, but I like those images on there.
All right. So, what do y'all think about the greatness of Shohei Ohtani? Do you think his style of play? Today he had surgery on his shoulder, repaired his shoulder. But do you think we look back 20 years from now and be like, man, that dude was phenomenal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ohtani, if he stopped playing today, he had a great career.
Let me ask you this though, guys. Okay. They made a lot of hoopla about the 50-50. What about, to me, Acuna's 40-70 was impressive too.
It was.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know.
But people like round numbers, man.
I guess.
So when you get to, but Acuna's year I thought was phenomenal year.
Phenomenal, right.
And he was in the field playing defense.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. He was in the field playing defense, and
the difference between the two is that Ohtani's the face of baseball.
Yep.
And Acuna's not. And Ohtani has the global reach of people in Japan collecting his stuff and looking for stuff. People from the Dominican are not collecting Acuna stuff, and just because finances over there. Acuna was better because he played in the field. It's 40-70, and if you take his 70 stolen bases, if you take it back to when the bases wasn't bigger, I think it averaged out he would have got like 50 stolen bases. He stole the base like 50 times. Versus Ohtani, I think he'd have been safe for like 35 times, something like that. If it was the old rules with the smaller bags, and you can, it's easier to steal bases because you have to throw the ball. If you throw pitches out twice, they have to make the third time they automatically get the base. So you have it as a runner. He can't throw it over here again. I'm gone.
That happened in the World Series with the Yankees. Yeah,
you get that extra split second jump on them, and the bases are bigger. So.
Okay. Understood.
Hey, but I got a key question here that I'll make sure I don't skip. We got GOAT asking a question. Do you still have faith in James Wiseman that day? I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay. What do you think he's gonna develop into, FD?
I'm trying to think of a player. The skills I see, he has a mid-range jump shot. He's raw as unbeaten eggs around the rim. So I think he can get better at that. He runs the court well. He can take a pass well from someone delivering it to him. And he can throw assists right now at an early age. Mm-hmm. And I still go back to Wise played 3 games in college, which is nothing. He basically came straight out of high school and went pro as a big man, which is extremely difficult to do. In the next 10, if he could be 75% of Joel Embiid, he's a success.
Okay.
And I think he could approach something like that.
Right.
If Wemby's on the right team with the right coach, I think he's now on the right team with the right coach that can develop his skills in Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, but he's only on a 2-year deal. Just tore an Achilles.
Jeez.
That second year, he's gotta come out and handle business. You know, unless Indiana sees something in him in that second year where we say, hey, we're going to extend you a few more years on. But I look at it like this. Wise has been through a lot. Got drafted, caught COVID, tore his meniscus, was out a full year recovering on that. Got traded twice, just tore his Achilles. There's really nothing but upside from that, unless you're just out the league.
Yeah.
I mean, you say it like that. That's a little biased because if you put in a name to that injuries in that time frame, you'd call him injury prone.
I guess one would. I would not. You think about how many players in the league who have torn their meniscus. Run the list. I've looked it up. And then think about how many players in the league have torn their Achilles. There's a bunch of players running around who have done both of those things. And people don't really even talk about it. I mean, when KD tore his Achilles, people say his career was over. Wasn't over.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see. My thing is like he's gotta be starting at some point here, man. If that's the case, he's got.
Does he really though? Does he really though? If you look through the history of basketball, there were a lot of players 7, 8 years in, but still coming off the bench. Look at Jermaine O'Neal. Does he really need to be starting right now? He's 23 years old. Does he need to be starting right now? Now, if he gets to 27, 28, 29, he's not starting. That's a problem.
Yeah, at some point, you know, he's got to be able to show his talents, and
he has to. I agree with that. But there's no rush right now. Why is this 5, 6 years in the league? 1 year he didn't play.
1 year he didn't play. Okay. Is he close? Is he close to a double there anywhere statistically?
I think if he's playing on a regular basis, he's definitely a double guy. And I think this year in Indiana, he was about to be playing on a regular basis. So I watched Wise all last year. Did not shoot any 3-pointers. This year, he hurts himself shooting a 3-pointer. So Rick Carlisle's already told him something. When you're on the court, you got keys to go do something. Show your talent. Do what you can do. He's not locked down in the paint. And Detroit is pretty much locked down in the paint.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see what's up.
We'll see what's up. We'll see how it goes. You know? Yeah.
Because what one side, let me ask this question. I'm going to challenge you both. Is Joel Embiid injury prone?
Yes.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
Who said that? Not me.
Joel Embiid is a Hall of Famer.
I'd say
he's a Hall of Famer.
Maybe a Sixers Hall.
I'd say he's a Hall of Fame talent.
Joel Embiid.
I'll say he has Hall of Fame talent. I just don't think he could stay healthy. And his thing is.
So when Yao Ming left basketball, did any one of you say he's not a Hall of Famer?
Okay, I'd say this, guys. I'll break this down this way.
Yep.
Tracy McGrady couldn't stay healthy either.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
He's a Hall of Famer. So, and he never got too far in the playoffs.
That's right.
And they put him in the Hall.
That's
right. Tracy led the league in a couple seasons where he was the scoring leader. Okay. He had a couple seasons with that. So I think probably that got him over the hump. So maybe that's comparable. Joel never led the league in scoring. He was close, but
he's been an MVP.
Yeah, he's got an MVP. Yeah.
What MVP you know is not Hall of Fame? Big John, holler at me. He's a Hall of Famer.
I think you know what? I think they need to re-up.
We don't think about
criteria. But he's getting into the Hall of Fame. That's what they need to do.
Can we make some sections of the Hall of Fame? Like, hey, you barely made it.
I said I need to be that up.
The inner ring. Can we get an inner circle of the Hall of Fame now?
Oh,
even with the top last year, like Can we get an inner circle of this thing?
Exactly. There's levels to it because people get it. Some people get in there, and I'm still wondering why they're there.
Do you think Ginobili was a Hall of Famer?
No.
Yeah, Ginobili got the hardware to prove it too. I mean,
he does. Like, I think he's a Hall of Famer, but a lot of people, he came off the bench.
He can't.
He won some rings off the bench. Never really started a game. Just asking questions.
I mean, Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer, and he had a short career, but he had that run of Defensive Player of the Years. So I guess Joel Embiid's a Hall of Famer.
He's
but man, I need some levels in this now.
Hall of Famer. And let's look up. Hold up. Now we're here. We're talking about big men. See, I love this conversation.
Uh-huh.
Right? Let's look at Ben Wallace here. We're talking about Ben Wallace. Look at these numbers, people. Look at the beginning of his career. Look at the first 4 years.
Okay.
What is he doing? What's he doing right here? Nothing. Zero. But principal things. Would you say at that time next year he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year and finish in 5th? No, but he started climbing. This is a prime example. When I look at Ben Wallace, when I look at Jermaine O'Neal and some other players, these are late blooming big men.
Okay.
And we're gonna see late bloomers again.
We'll see. We'll see.
We get called up.
You're trying to say
you gotta come out of college, you gotta get drafted high, and I need 20 and 10 from you from here at 18, 19 to when you're 40. It's not happening like that. There's only one LeBron James that's done that. And I still think that it's very interesting that he's still playing at a high level now. That's a whole nother conversation now. But if you think that dude is sleeping 8 hours a day, getting water in him and eating Wheaties, you're fooling yourself. When we say he spends $1.5 million on his body, what the hell is he doing for 1.5? And where's it coming from? But that's a whole nother conversation.
Is Backo still in business?
Hey, bro, that cream and that clear? I don't know. Allegedly, respectfully, I don't know.
Yeah. So FD, you're trying to say that hey, James Wiseman may be on that track for like Ben Wallace and Jermaine O'Neal?
No, but there's no rush. We want to rush. Okay. There's no rush.
Okay.
If a team assign him and he's healthy, they got a double-double guy. I can almost check the box on that. That's a double-double guy. So let's see, can he become more than that? Can he become 2010, 2015, 25, 15? Can he become more? We'll see. But let me just say this. What young big man today that plays the center spot is somebody to talk about?
Other than Wemby?
No,
other than Wemby?
Wemby's not a center. Let's get that clear. Wemby is not a center. I'm talking about holding down the center spot. What young center is someone notable to talk about? That person doesn't exist.
Jokic.
He's not young.
No, young. I'm talking about, bro. Come on, man. that person doesn't exist. That's not a center. Chet is not a center.
Okay. Jalen Duren.
Who?
Jalen Duren, Detroit.
Jalen Duren?
Jalen Duren. Yeah.
Jalen Duren is really a power forward. He's Otis. He's Otis Thorpe like player. He is not.
Go ahead.
He's not an elite.
Sengun.
He's not an elite. He's not an elite. He gets done.
He is.
No,
look
he
at this.
plays he plays real big. He gets.
Let me pull up those statistics on Sengun, man.
Let's pull them up.
I'm telling you.
Let's pull them up.
I know people that like Sengun and hide in his part.
Yeah, I know people too. He's not elite.
I'm just saying he's a young talented center.
I agree, but he's not elite. There's no elite young centers in the league.
I see Jordan Brown brought up live, and I don't
agree with that. Sengun, look at his stats.
Look at him. Look at him. This year he's having 16 points a game.
Okay, how many rebounds?
12. He's 16. He's double guy.
Double guy.
He's not
Double
elite.
double guy, right?
Yeah, he's not elite though.
What do you
They're
mean he's not
so
elite?
young elite center. When Shaq came out, when Alonzo Mourning came out, these guys were rolling from out the gate. There's no players like that anymore.
Let me talk to you again. Bam Adebayo.
Bam has been in the league for years. And let's look at Bam. Let's look at how his career started. Because I think he's a great example. Look at how his career started. And then he started playing for a team that really wasn't that great, Miami at the time. But his career started slow.
Okay.
And he didn't even have any major injuries. There's nothing rapid fire about this, people. Zero. The center position is very difficult to play. It's like we don't see young guards coming in. We don't see young points coming in getting after. Doesn't happen. Those two positions are very difficult to play coming in out the gate. You'd rather play the two guard than a point coming out of college or coming out of high school.
Okay. But Ja is a point guard. Ja comes in. I'm telling you. So we can't deny
Ja is not an elite player on the court.
No, FD, come on now.
He's
FD,
not.
we got to pump the brakes on timeout.
We can tell him out. He's not an elite player.
Because
Ja, nothing about his game. Let me pull up Ja right quick, bro. See, we get caught up in the hype. I'm talking about basketball. Look at what this dude is doing out here on this court right now. Now, somebody told me the other day, hey, FD, he's on minutes restriction. Okay. But even when the minutes are restricted, look at what this dude's doing. 20 points a game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He's shooting this year, he's shooting 83% from the free throw. He was much worse than that before. He's still shooting 21%. The other day was 20 from the three. He has 4 turnovers a game. 9 assists, 10 assists. This dude is not playing any different. You want me to pull up Trae Young?
Yeah.
You don't want me to pull up Trae Young. Let me pull up Trae Young for you. This is another guard that's people talk about him. It feels good. But he's not really doing much here.
Okay.
He got numbers, 24 points a game, 11 assists.
Okay.
Shooting 90% from the free throw line. Shooting 30% from the three.
So
he's not getting anything done. He's not getting anything done here.
You know, I understand that.
He doesn't make a player. Hey, bro, if you ran on the court, he would make you better.
Some players need to be in the right situation. There's only so much you can do. You can be a talented player. You can do the best you can do based on your current talent and whatnot. But if you don't have the right pieces, you're not going to go anywhere. And I think LaMelo is a talent. I just think he's in an awful situation in Charlotte.
If you put him someplace else, if you put him someplace else, tell me a team he would go to, and then what player would he transform into? We're talking about LaMelo Ball now.
I think stay with me. I think if you based on how LaMelo plays, I'd like to see him be the point guard for Orlando. He got the height. He could distribute the ball. He could see over the defenses. He can integrate well with Paolo and the other players.
So you see what
I think Orlando is a defensive team, and they basically push him to play defense also.
They're not going to get better.
Cover up his defensive weaknesses.
They're not going to get better on defense with LaMelo Ball. And Paolo, you said, what's that?
Who's the coach of Orlando?
It doesn't really matter. They're not getting whoever that person is not getting more out of him. Doesn't matter who that person is. And also you just talk about Paolo. So when you sign LaMelo, you did Paolo's activity on the court and ball handling and points going straight down.
No, I think it could work out. If he goes elsewhere, I think he's got the talent. But There's a lot of players that aren't in the right situation, and
rather have
they
Darius
never
Garland or
situation.
LaMelo Ball? Who'd you rather have? On your winning, trying to get to the playoff team and winning, who would you rather have, Darius Garland or LaMelo Ball? You know the answer. You just don't want to say it.
What? But then FD, you're also saying that there's no good point guards coming out that are doing it right now. Darius is one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would rather have a Darius Garland at my point than any time playing with LaMelo Ball. But most people can't fix their mind around that because Darius Garland's going to make people better, and he's going to take advantage of a defense when he needs to. He's not going to push offense first, and then to be damned with everything else that's happening out here. But I'm going to shoot these threes from the logo.
I think statistically, LaMelo performs well from the assist standpoint. Also, he's an all around type of a player. I just don't think he knows how to win with this team that he's on right now, and the coach's system. A lot of great players are stuck in systems, and it looks like they're at fault. You know what I'm saying? So look at AD. You know,
LaMelo hasn't played more than 45 games in 3 years in a row.
Okay, that's health is an issue. Understood. Steph had health issues in the beginning, couldn't keep his ankles right. So eventually they got around it, and he was able to sustain himself.
Then he got them ankles right. So right now we're looking to see
right.
if LaMelo about to get right. LaMelo's been a one All-Star game, and he was an alternate because somebody else got hurt. And people still talk about him. He's not that kind of player, man. Just not that dude. You can score a lot of points. You can throw a lot of meaningless assists. You're still not going anywhere. You're not doing anything.
Again, it's all about the building pieces they have, and Charlotte isn't built like that, and all he could do is go out there and fill up the stat sheet and do the best he can. So,
like Jordan says, LaMelo could help a bunch of teams. Jordan, just go ahead and list those out for us.
So
and I'm
going
to put a line through everyone. Go ahead and list them out. And I'm going to tell you how
LaMelo on Phoenix, are they better?
If you put him on Phoenix, no, they're worse.
Yeah, swap point guards out. And
who's
I like that.
You gonna take who's the point guard?
Tyrus Jones.
No, they're worse. Because this dude is going to take all the shots now. And so what is Book, Beal, and KD doing? They're now defensive specialists? No. It's not happening. Name another team. We can walk through. There are players that make a team worse, even though their stat line looks a certain way, because they're inefficient in shooting and whatever else they do. If you think about Curry came out on the court the other day, had 20 points in 20 minutes. That's extremely efficient. These guys don't do that. The ball doesn't do that. It's not doing that.
Okay. You know what I'll say?
But Big John, is he injury prone?
Yeah.
Who?
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
He's the definition of injury prone.
Okay.
But people don't bring that up about him. Nobody. I watch ESPN. I can listen to podcasts. When LaMelo Ball's name comes up, nobody talks about his injuries. Last year they said 2 or 3 times he's coming back. Dude never came back.
I just think he has hobby appeal, and that's what a lot of people like. Okay, he's a confident player.
Okay,
and he's a highlight reel in terms of his passes and how he moves on the floor.
Yep.
So he has that hobby appeal, and he's likable. He plays well. That's
these interviews.
That's what people like right
interviews with people where he says these buzzwords, the stuff that people really like, especially people on 25. They really love it. But how many players has the hobby love that fits these same categories, these same characteristics you just talked about that didn't work out? Did not work out. Like people brought up, to be damned, Ben Simmons. People tried to convince me in conversations that I didn't hear Ben Simmons really at LSU, but he's about to ball out in the NBA. I didn't hear this dude one time. Nobody was talking about Ben Simmons till it was time for the NBA draft. And then people were telling me he's going to ball out. He did not ball out. That every year people are saying this dude has a jump shot. He won't even shoot a jumper right now in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go through these same characteristics on players as if we've never seen this before. LaMelo Ball, people are telling me he's going to be MVP of the league. That's not going to happen. And people are telling me he's going to lead a team to a championship. That's not going to happen. You haven't even seen that. You haven't seen this guy lead anything. First, I'd like to see him lead Charlotte on a 5-game winning streak. We don't see that.
But
I was on a show recently. A guy pulled out about 30 LaMelo Ball cards, and these are all high end. Natural treasures, flawless, a whole bunch, all kinds of stuff. And everybody at the show was like, "Wow, man! Hope that pans out."
But then again, you're looking at LaMelo, who's averaging career-wise 28.6 points per game, to Ben Simmons, who's averaging 10 points, 12 points a game.
Yeah,
they're not in the same ballpark.
What people said about them, though. What are people talking? How people
LaMelo has talent that can't be denied, but he's not winning. I understand that, but we can't deny his talent and his abilities. He has the potential, you know. So
he averages about 10 more games a year than points he's played there that he scores a game.
Okay. But again, you know, health is an issue, but he's got talent. He just needs to get into the right situation. There's a lot of players that are like that. And go ahead and put Steph in his prime in Charlotte and see what happens. You're not going to get no 4 titles. Okay. So let's think about that.
I don't think Steph is going to be LaMelo Ball.
Okay. But
again,
though, FD, if you put Steph in his prime in Charlotte, he's going to be losing just like LaMelo.
You know, he was
because Bob Myers put him in the position to win.
He was number 2.
They put Clay there, they put Draymond there in their primes, and they won.
Was LaMelo Ball number 2 ever in Rookie of the Year voting? No.
You know, so I mean, you know, I'm just saying though, Steph isn't going to do it by himself. He's with all the talent he has. You put him in a bad team with a bad offense, he's going to be filling up the L column. That's the thing, FD. So, you know, again, there's a lot of great talents that don't have the support they need.
Okay. Name me another player that's averaging over 23 points a game and 10 assists that does not win in the NBA.
You know,
name me one.
You know, Trae Young is there.
Okay, who else? Name me one.
But Trae Young has had some playoff wins under his belt.
Oh, well,
okay? He's won some playoff series.
Yeah.
So we got to give him some credit for that.
He's had years that he's averaged 25 and 11, didn't even go to playoffs.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm saying, name me another player that averages over 23 points a game and 11 assists that does not win games. Besides LaMelo Ball.
Besides LaMelo Ball.
I'm in the chat too, chat. Y'all let me know. Oh, my man.
LaMelo doesn't average over 10 assists a game.
What was he not?
So, but the closest one to that, FD, is Luka. He's averaging 28 and having over 30 and 9. 30 and 9, and he went to the NBA Finals just now.
Yeah, he wins. So there's really no other player that has a stat line like LaMelo that does not win.
Okay, well,
let's think about that, bro.
There are some that like that they don't win. Understood, but you know we got to think through that because it all comes down to the system of the team aspect, and you know you got to have the right tools and you could have mismatches with other teams, and you know the coach's philosophy and how the coach wants to play. A player may look great in one system and look like crap in another system with what's his name in the Knicks where they play him for 48 minutes and want to still pay triple overtime. So again,
Charlotte's losing on an extended losing streak. LaMelo Ball's in street clothes on the bench laughing with other players. So you remember this?
Right.
And about 5 games after that, head coach got fired.
Yeah.
That's LaMelo Ball.
Oh, man.
But he gonna come out here and shoot the 3 from the logo, though. You can bet your ass on that.
Yeah, Steph does that too.
But he hits them.
Okay, well, understood. I'm just saying. Also, Steph is talented. I take nothing away from him, but a lot of players benefit from a great system that's implemented and that's well executed, and they win as a result.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain players that could have it, that could be in different situations where they could be winning too. But again, it comes down to the system and what's put in place. And some of them, pretty much wasted talent, by the time they get a chance. Look at Charles Barkley. Barkley was a killer. I mean, as far as, his double doubles in Philly, but by the time he got around to try to get to a contender, he was over the hill in Houston and couldn't do anything. So there's a lot of stories like that really don't get a chance to do anything. Look at Karl Malone. Malone, Malone and Stockton filled up the stat sheet and had a 1-2 punch, but MJ was in the way. So what can you do?
With LaMelo, first of all, you got to be coachable. I don't care what system you're in. If you don't want to be coached, you ain't gonna win. Like even LeBron got coached, and we know LeBron don't want to be coached. Like he got coached in Miami. He's getting coached now. I just think that LaMelo plays basketball that's exciting if you're at the park.
Yep.
But to your point, people got to learn how to win. I concede that people have to learn how to win, but you got to be willing to make the changes. Barkley made the changes in his career to getting his weight under control, playing better underneath the rim, getting the jump shot. He did the changes he needed to try to win, and he just ran into Michael Jordan, so that everybody else in the 90s.
Yeah,
right.
So just like everybody ran into LeBron, DeRozan, Toronto, good teams, they couldn't get past LeBron. Derrick Rose couldn't get past LeBron. Sometimes you run into that dude.
Mm-hmm. That you can't get past.
Right. But no coaching philosophy. If you don't want to be coached, if you're talented and don't know how to win and don't want to be coached, you're never going to win.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I can't wait to see how the rest of the season goes for Charlotte. I eventually see that team becoming Miller's team.
Brandon Miller?
Okay. Yeah, and I see LaMelo Ball being walked out. He'll go someplace else.
Okay.
And then he'll still be, just like Jordan Poole, he'll be shooting shit and, it'll look cool on ESPN, but he ain't going nowhere unless he calms all that down and makes other people better and stop showboating. All these players that we talk about that hit the court, start showboating, they really aren't doing anything. They're not winning anything. They're not advancing their team. They're not doing anything like that. Right now, Memphis is what, 5-6 seed? Mm-hmm. I was expecting Jaws back. They're going to come out the gates. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a former defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Come out the gates.
But Desmond Bain got injured. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's tough,
Oh, Memphis is 10th seed.
Oh, well, my fault. My fault. We talking about playing.
Memphis is what?
10th
seed.
Talking about playing. It's just always interesting to me how we feel we think players are doing certain things. Then we look at hard numbers like their seed. We look at advancement from the year before. We look at key players. What are they doing on the court from a point, rebound, assist, and efficiency standpoint? And then what's their plus minus? How they playing defense? And it tells the whole story. I don't ever hear anybody in the hobby talking about plus minus. Mm-hmm. That nobody gives a damn about that. They don't care about that. It's not important. It's important about how many points you're scoring and how you make me feel. And I also have a theory that a lot of people in the hobby and fans in general they like the persona of a player. They like how a player carries himself and what they say.
Okay.
And they live through that. You know, a person like Steph, too damn square, man. Too square. He ain't gonna say nothing that's controversial. He's not gonna do anything that's controversial. But I could turn my eye over here to Trae Young, John Morant. On a given night, I might get a little Tyrese Halliburton. They're gonna shake it up a little bit. They're gonna say a little something, do a little something. Let's talk about Tyrese Halliburton. Right now, he's not shooting well. And he's averaging like 14, 15 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Is he an elite point guard? His name didn't come up when we talked about that. He's not an elite point guard. But the NBA is going to put him on commercials. And when the All-Star game goes to Indiana, showcase him. Because there's nothing to talk about.
I think Halliburton is he's an elite point guard talent. I think just the fact that they picked up Siakam, and Siakam is becoming the scoring number one option. Before Siakam got put on the Pacers, I've watched Tyrese for a long time, and he can fill up the stat sheet and he can score. He can definitely score, but he's taking that point guard role and deferring to Siakam because he's the number one option to score right now. And I think
why do you think Indiana made Siakam the number one option?
Because he is, he's probably their best option right now and he needs to be involved. So he has to be. So I think Tyrese he's a very above average point guard. He's an above average point guard, and he can fill up the stat sheet and score when needed. I think he can be very lethal.
I'm excited to see who's going to take the torch on really rolling into this greatness. Winning 2-3 rings in their career, stuff like that. Who are actually going to be those players that's going to do that? We look at Shea like we talked about. He displays a lot of good things. We still got to see him win series and win a championship and take his team to the finals and do certain things. So it'll be exciting to see how that actually transpires over time.
I think Shea would be the he's knocking on the door. I mean, they're taking those strides and everything. So he very well could be the one. So we'll see if he's able to beat Luka in the playoffs. He's yet to do that. Yet to do that.
It'd be interesting. This year, he might play somebody else.
Yeah. So, they lost last year against Luka in that series, and this is their chance to go back again. And if they run into him to deal with that,
Did you say you were coming down to the Burbank Car Show in February?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. It's going to be in Ontario this time, I think. Ontario.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got some pictures. I went by the new, they're moving locations, I think sometime in early 2025. I happened to stumble about a new location the other day. They were doing construction inside. It almost looks like a converted CVS or something.
Right.
But it looks real cool. 14,000 square feet.
14,000 square feet, exactly.
It'll be real cool.
Wow. Yeah, Rob looks like he's doing some big things with that. So.
Yeah, man. It's real nice. I went by the current location. What was it? Last Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it was real cool.
That's good, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I want to see the new shop and everything. It looks like he has some good things going on.
Yeah.
Let's see. So tell me something, guys.
What's up?
Who are your players that you're picking up right now? I know Big John mentioned, one of his earlier on FD. I know besides Steph, are there any prospects? Are there anybody that you're looking at? Is there anybody that meets the eye test or anything?
I would say Shea is probably that person beyond Steph.
Shea, right? Okay. I agree on that for sure. Sure. Big John, are you collecting Shea, or you're on the sidelines, or?
I mean, I've had a couple Sheas, base rookies. I'm just looking this time of year. I'm really focused PC, and I am doing wrestling. Right, that's what I'm into right now for the rest of the year, the baseball season.
Right.
basketball is football, basketball. I know those sports, those players are, if you like, I think a lot of that stuff's coming on a long-term hold. If you like the player, not a quick flip. And I'm big in the WWE, big WWE fan all my life, and I know those cars, that thing. So I've just been collecting, grading, keeping some of those cars, selling some of those right now. But as far as the next show I'm looking at, I'll probably go through. If there's some decently priced Shay, I definitely will pick it up. If there's a decently priced Chat, I'll pick up some Chat as well. I've been picking up a couple of Chats around, in between $20 and $50 range. I'm picking those up when I see them at a good price.
Okay.
So, outside, I'm always looking for Kobe White because that's the keep. And then some Jimmy Butler as well because that's the keep. Those are my two favorite players. So
okay, gotcha. Okay, that's fine. Tell me something else, guys. As far as like when you're picking up some of these players, is it always the first option on offense that we collect, or the second option on offense that you collect, or what are some of your thoughts on that?
That's a great question.
I mean, with me and Kobe White, Jimmy Butler, I like those players. Like, I like their approach to the game. I like their tenacity. I like their potential, how they build each year. So, whether they first, second to the option, that didn't appeal to me. One, I'm a Bulls fan. Two, I like their personal stories and their backgrounds, and that's why I want to collect those players. Like, I'm not collecting Zach LaVine. I'm not. And that's the first option of the team. I'm not. So that's not. When it comes to other teams, it's potential where it can go and where that stock is in the hobby. All right, I'm gonna look at a Shea and give it a serious look because I know the value in it going forward. I'm gonna look at a Banchero because of the same reason, not necessarily because these are players I like and want to hold on to, just because like, hey, this may help me get a bigger card down the line, or do something different down the line when it comes to stuff like that. Like, my PC is off the beaten path. Like, so when if you hear me or see me showing a card or a player that's common to the hobby, it's for the potential to get something in the PC and the sell and to move it. It's not really something that I'm keeping. Unless if you see a Kobe White, you see a Jimmy Butler, you see somebody who's not popular in the hobby, that's probably a card that I'm keeping.
Okay. I got you.
I'm very big on collect what I like and do my own thing, and any naysayers, they can just say what they want.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun though, because people can do what they want to in the hobby. I've been trying to narrow my focus more and more to certain players. And it may be probably, you talk about scoring, probably one of the higher scores on an elite team with an elite player. That's kind of the stuff that I look for. I probably do less prospecting now than I have in a while.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah, a lot of high draft picks, stuff like that. You pretty much, like we talked about earlier, they're going to spend time in the G League or someplace else to develop. And then let's see if they have that intestinal fortitude to shake it out and see what they're going to be. And a lot of times, that could get boring to people. It's not enough activity for them.
Right, exactly.
I can understand why people don't do that.
I like a combination of the two is good. There's certain prospects. It's nice to be right on a prospect that you've gambled on and you've watched him grow and you've watched him develop. Like, say, for instance, Steph. When I started collecting Steph, it was like 2009. He was talented. He shot well. Monte Ellis was the challenge in terms of him getting playing time, and I was like, man, wow. I decided to pick up some of his Topps Chrome rookie, and at that time in 2009, it was like it was number out of 500 out of Topps Chrome, and it was like $30. Man, I wished I picked up like 10 of them. Anyway, but for that card for $30, I kept in my collection for a long time, and I graded it to like a PSA 9, graded a PSA 9, and held on to it. And that $30 investment, just turned in. What they comp at now. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool prospecting and being right about it. It's fun. It's fun watching them develop. Then again, it's good to invest in the solid goats that have already proven something, But it's good to get in cheap on a future goat and watch him turn into something substantial, So again, it's risky, and then you should hedge your bets or limit your exposure. But again, it depends on what you're willing to lose.
When you talk about prospecting, it always brings me to baseball because I prospect in baseball first Bowman's a lot.
Yeah.
For that same reason, right? They pop off that that exponent how much it's going to be. It's going to be a great payoff if they pop off, and you can hold it. You can, just because he's the number one draft pick, it may be 4 or 5 years down the line before he actually gets to the majors and gets the Ohtani treatment or the Ellie Cruz hype or the O'Neal Cruz hype, and that's when you get in for a low price and you hold it. I don't have that same mindset when it comes to basketball and football.
Okay, gotcha. Guys, I've always had this question, and I don't understand it. It's a baseball question though. Why doesn't Mookie Betts get hobby love for baseball?
We talked about this. Big John,
please tell me about that, because
John,
I'm willing to be enlightened.
When you look at Trout and you look at Mookie Betts, other players, Big John,
because Mookie's not flashy. One, he's not flashy. I've said this for years that he was better than Mike Trout. He's the second best player, in the Major League Baseball because he can do everything. He's a true 5-tool player, but he's not going to hit the big home runs. He's not going to hit 40, 50 home runs a year, and he's not a flashy person. He's very low key, humble, but he's second best player, right? And again, same reason why Acuna is not high, right? He's not pushed to be the face of the hobby or the face of baseball. Right now, baseball is pushing Ohtani, Judge, Soto, Ellie De La Cruz, Paul Skeens, right? These players that hit home runs, that make flashy plays on offense and hit bombs or can throw 100 miles an hour, right? But just Mr. Consistent in the Freddie Freemans, the Mookie Betts are not looked at like that because they're just consistently good, but they don't do it in a dramatic fashion, right? Mookie can hit a home run and it just goes over the fence. That's not exciting, but you hit a ball to right field and you try to get a double out of it, he's going to throw it on the rope and gun you down at second base, and that's the exciting play, right? So it's just one of those things where he's a 5-2 player that can play every position, but you won't see him in commercials like that. You won't see him push, and that's why he's not collected hobby-wise. You have to be a baseball fan to want to collect Mookie.
So does the hobby catch up to him later?
Probably after the fact. After he's got 4 or 5 World Series, and you look back at him like, he was really good. Even with Ohtani, he was still the second best player or one of the best players on that team.
Because to me, right, I used to see like other older players like Joe Mauer. He got the love, but he was like Mr. Single, single doubles. Ichiro singles, doubles, whatever. But they got the love. I don't know. It's something else.
Sure. Jordan says Mookie is a winner in a hype-driven market.
Yeah. It's just
a great question.
And baseball works off winning.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Shiny new toy.
Shiny new toy.
Shiny new toy theory. Right? The hobby's a shiny new toy. Whatever's a shiny new toy, that's what we want to push. We forget. That's why you see products go down in price after the new product comes out, because It's that shiny new toy, and Mookie just Mr. Consistent. He's that blankie you guy's the baby you never let go of, but you forget about it.
Because we remember when Ohtani hurt his pitching arm, a lot of people selling his cards and walking away.
Yeah.
You look at it now. Was that the right move? I don't know. And Nate says it's good to if you see something in a player who isn't hyped and pick up a nice card cheap to hold.
I mean, I will tell you that Mookie's high-end cards are expensive.
They are.
His
They are.
Like his high-end cards, his super factors, his out of 150 and less, his autos are expensive. They are not a cheap thing to get.
Wow.
But
most of them are with
just think if Trout was winning World Series. I don't think his cards are even where Trout's would be.
Wow. Okay.
They're expensive, but they're not well.
No, they're not. Same thing goes like Bryce Harper. You look at what Bryce Harper cards are. Bryce Harper cards are nowhere near as expensive as Juan Soto cards.
Wow. Man.
Christmas things. You think about getting in some baseball a little deeper?
Yeah, I'm considering it. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the Bowman Chromes and Bowman Chrome autos, looking at that, seeing how what avenues to take on some players. I'm gonna get into some prospects and stuff like that and see what to invest in. But with Ohtani, it's like the ship has sailed, but I still want to get into some of his stuff.
The ship hasn't sailed.
I don't think
there's some unique Ohtani cards. It's some unique sets that you can get and make money off of, or get and hold. That's gonna be like I picked up a high tech Ohtani for $30. That PSA 10 goes a couple hundred. That was before the playoffs. So there are different things. You just can't get the Bowmans, and then you got to know with Ohtani, he doesn't have a first Bowman, right? Official.
No, he
first.
doesn't. No.
So you got his Bowman, then you have the two where he's pitching one, and then there's one where he's hitting to decipher against two. So his stuff with Bowman is confusing. That's why everybody kind of goes for his rookie, Topps rookie, because it's just simpler to understand.
Because Ohtani wasn't a prospect, so he doesn't have a Bowman first. He just got right into the league.
You don't. Yes, but you still get a Bowman. Your first Bowman is your very first card. So even if he wasn't a prospect, he didn't get a Bowman first at all. He just got a regular Bowman card, and they forgot to put the first on it. From what my research of it is, and I could be wrong, but that's one of the things that I looked at because then he has two autos. You got the Kanji auto or the regular auto. And Kanji's.
I never forget. I saw Kanji auto raw one time for $12,000.
Man, the one I was looking at, and it's just like priced out of the galaxy, is that Bowman Chrome Blue out of 150 auto.
Yep. What's the price on that card?
I think it's sold for like 26 or 27,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's up there, man. So I've been looking at his Bowman Chrome, his regular Bowman Chrome with embattled PSA 10, but the pop count is up there. So like I don't know.
Yeah, I always tell Big John. I remember when people told me, "Hey, I wouldn't." This was years ago. I wouldn't buy Ohtani. He can't hit American pitcher.
Wow.
This is the kind of some of the stuff we don't talk about. And then how many people lost money on Trout? Everybody I knew was buying Trout and buying an expensive Trout.
Yeah, that Topps RC Trout was like what, $6,000 at one point, and it's a fraction of that right now.
Yeah, very low. Nobody talks about this stuff though.
No.
You don't want to talk about that.
No. who got hurt on that.
Prisoner Things, I always enjoy having you here, bro. You always bring great conversation. I love the way you think about stuff and analyze things. And even now talking about you want to get into baseball, how you thinking about it. And the questions are great, man. I mean, you're an analytical dude. That's how you
Likewise, FD. I like the way you challenge stuff. And it's good to have a good conversation where we disagree and we have
So. Oh yeah, we have talks.
We talk on the
card show. I don't want people on here just bobblehead and agreeing.
Yeah,
say what you think, and I'm gonna say what I think, and
exactly.
And that's how we have fun.
Yeah, totally.
If LaMelo Ball blows up, bro, I'll be happy for him. If he's consistent, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, but that's yet to be seen.
Oh, well, it is what it is. I just think modern day basketball players, modern day sports in general, we can look at football and we can pick that apart. It's not the same game we grew up watching.
It isn't.
Not at all. From protecting the quarterback to how we want to promote scoring, defense is like there's no Ronnie Lott, bro. That dude's career would be totally
different.
There's no Jack Tatum. That career is totally different. You better play ball right, or you wouldn't even be playing.
Offense sells.
Yeah.
No one wants to see a football game or a basketball game with low scoring because of defense. People don't care about it.
Every team has 2 or 3 running backs. Most teams are not rolling with just one. Derrick Henry now might be one of the last running backs that you can just put the ball in his hand and let him go get it. It might be one of the last people. So he just passed 2,000 yards. He's 6 G's away from Emmitt Smith.
Smith, right?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll see. That's what 6 G's is a lot of running left. But we'll see. But football itself has changed. So, I don't even watch boxing anymore. I used to love boxing. A lot of sports have just morphed into something else. So
something else. We're about to watch Tyson and the other kid trying to get a payday.
Yeah, somebody right now is kicked back reading the script on how that's going to happen. How that's going to
go. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. Mike has to make funds. I just hope he's healthy after that. Nothing crazy happens.
Right. So we'll see how that goes.
That's what it's all about. I appreciate your time, man. Big John, you too, man.
Big John, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Well, been one of the best conversations. Yeah.
Good conversation, that fellas. Look forward to doing this anytime you guys are ready.
All right, we'll have you back on more often, man.
Totally.
For sure. But, bro, you have a good night. I want to thank everybody that's been here in the chat, part of the conversation chiming in, from Jordan to Nate to everyone else. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, area.
All right. Indeed.
Bye-bye, bro.
Take care. All right, guys.